I'm about to show you my best crypto trading strategy that just made me $37,700 in a single week. We're going to cover how to analyze the market, how to pick the right coins to trade, where to enter and exit, and then later on in the video I'm going to walk you through the exact trades that I took to make me $37,700 in a single week so you can implement this strategy and use it for yourself. Let's get into it. I do all of my analysis at the start of the week and I show this to all of my students, and then I set alerts at the levels, and then I just monitor the charts from my phone. This allows me to go and live my life on my terms and do what I want when I want. So I'm not stuck behind the computer all day long wasting time. So then when I get my alert and when it's time to take the trade, that's when I take action, which is exactly what I'm going to be showing you at the end of the video with the exact trading setups. But first, I want to break down the exact strategy. And step number one, you need to find the direction of the market. Crypto as a whole. So what we do is we go to tradingview.com and then we search for total, and then this will give us the entire market cap of the space. And I analyze this at the beginning of each week and show all of my analysis and all of my trade processes to all of my one-to-one students. And that's exactly what I did in this scenario where I made $37,723 in a single week. And the reason being I do this is because I pick the direction for the week ahead. Because if crypto is bearish, then we're going to need to position accordingly, sell some of our positions and have a bit more cash. And if it is bullish, then we position ourselves to buy tokens and make the appreciation of that token for the week or the weeks ahead. And depending on the direction of the total market cap, all of the other coins will follow. And it is extremely rare if total goes down for the week and then another coin is up. So as you can see on the chart here, it's the total market cap. And what I did in this scenario is I zoomed in. This is the weekly time frame. And I anticipated that this week here was going to be bullish. So this is when I was doing all of my buying in this area here. As you can see, we've got a very, very clean support level. We then had a fake breakdown. But once we got back above, this is where we were doing our buying for the rally up. And this is where we were able to catch last week's move. But later on in this video, I'm going to show you a deeper insight on how I pick this trade. So step number two, how do we pick the best coins? Because this strategy, we're going to be focusing on making 20 to 100% gains. This is not a strategy to pick 100x coins, which I have spoken about in other videos, as that is a deep topic. So our focus is to make 20 to 100% gains on each trade, and it is mainly focused on spot. You do not need to use leverage if you do not want to. Some people do use leverage and they have insane results. I've done it in the past and I had insane results. However, if we're looking for 20 to 100% gains, then the percentage gains are so large in crypto. You do not need to use leverage if you do not want to. And so if you're able to stack gains consistently, then you can compound your account, and trust me, it will grow a lot faster than you think. But these coins here are the non-negotiables. They are the largest pairs and they will decide where the rest of the market is going to go. First of all, total is the main one. That is where we find the direction. So we've already done step one. We've already decided where total is going to go for the week ahead. Then we look at Bitcoin. This one always needs to be on your watch list, 100%. Then these next two flip in between each other. These are the best performing layer ones in the market. Last cycle, ETH was the best performing layer one. So far this cycle, Solana has been the best performing layer one. That may change in the future, which I will share to my one-to-one students or in my Telegram in the description below. But it doesn't hurt to look at both of them. We need to look at both of them to decide which one is stronger. And then we decide between the two which is stronger, and that is the one that we trade. So we trade Bitcoin and we trade Ethereum or Solana, depending on the market at that current moment in time. And there may be a new layer one that comes along and takes a spot here. It may be 4 of them, but for now it's just Solana and it is just ETH. And these are non-negotiables because if any of these are falling in price, then all of the other coins that I'm about to show you is also going to be falling in price because they have magnified returns. For example, if Solana pumps, then all of the coins on Solana are usually going to pump harder. If Solana dumps, then all of the coins built on Solana are going to dump harder. And it's the same for Ethereum as well. Don't expect one coin to be performing extremely well if it's built on that layer one. If the layer 1 is dumping, then it is highly unlikely the coin built on that layer 1 is going to suddenly pump and outperform it. That's a delusional mindset. So then you have your final coin. This is how we do it. We go to our popular exchange. For this example, I'm going to choose Bybit. Then we go to the perpetual futures section. Then we search for highest volume first. And then we pick the coin with the best performing price action built on one of those layer 1s, as I just mentioned, Solana or ETH. So this is how you do it. You go to the exchange. As you can see here, this is the trading section. You then go to futures. You click on futures here. What you then do is you go to this section here. So as you can see here, I've now sorted it by volume. We have Bitcoin at the top, 14 billion. Then we have ETH. Then we have XRP. This is another layer 1, but this is not one that we want to be looking at the moment. Then we have Solana, Sui, another layer 1. Doge is also a high cap coin. XLM is a high cap coin. And then Fartcoin. This is the one that I've been trading in the most recent weeks to make a large percentage gain. This one is the number 1 coin at the moment. You then have other coins like Bonk. This Pump Fund one is brand new very recently. And over time, these coins will change, but usually it's by a process of elimination. XRP is a layer 1, Solana is a layer 1, Sui is a layer 1, Doge is built on Ethereum, but obviously Doge is extremely large. XLM is an old coin from the previous cycle, but Fartcoin is a brand new coin this cycle built on the Solana chain. So that is one of the coins. That is the second coin that I have picked in my previous examples that made me over a 60% gain. And as you can see here, Bonk, I've already chosen this one and did a 2x. In the past, it was Popcat, and I did over a 3x on this one in the most recent months. So then step number 3, we have the execution, and then we have the setup. So as I've shown here, ETH has to bounce here or it's a lower high, and then the whole market context has changed. So you should have bought in this area here and cut on a clean break below. How does this look on the chart that led me to make this money? As you can see on Ethereum here, this was the box where I told everyone to do the buying. But once we got back above this level here, I added more of my position that led to over a 30% move on one of the trades and then another 23% on another one of the trades. So as you can see, in the past, this level here, this box has been a support level here. We rallied, it broke below, resistance, it sold off. We broke through, this was your support level that rallied. Then this was your support level here that also rallied. We then broke through, we spent time underneath, but once we got back above, this was my time to do the buying, which led to a 30 to 40% move on Bitcoin, depending on where you bought. I was buying here and in here, and I just simply cut the trade on a clean break below this area here. And it was really that simple. I also took this Solana trade. I was doing my buying in this box here. I did a whole breakdown on this trade to all of my one-to-one students. I did a video breaking it all down. And this trade looked a little bit like this. So I went on Solana on the weekly time frame. As you can see here, this was the area where I had my support and resistance level. The reason being is in the past, resistance here sold off. Support, support, support. And we needed to hold this level multiple times before we rallied higher. We then sold off over 60%. We overextended underneath this level, but once we got back above, we then retested this level here as support. I then zoomed in. This was the buy zone on Solana. So then we zoom in. This one here took a little bit longer to play out, but once it got back above this level, this is where I was doing my buying. And as you can see, this one led to over a 20% gain on this position. So I just simply bought in this box here and then added onto my position here before this rally up into here. So that's how I was able to make over $37,700 in the last week. All I did was I broke it down. Step number 1 on total. I found the direction of the total market cap. I did all of my analysis on the higher time frames, on the weekly and the daily time frame, because then if we know where price is going to head for the month or the week ahead, that is how we can position ourselves if we are going to buy and profit on the appreciation of the asset or sit out and wait. Then we pick our support and resistance levels. And my entry triggers in these examples was just simply buy in the zones that I mentioned and then cut on a clean break below. And that is it. There was no need to overcomplicate anything. Then the execution was there. So then my entry trigger is the same as the execution. That is how I bought the token inside the buy zone. And then where did I exit? I exited when we hit a key area of resistance. Now I'm still holding some of the positions because we may potentially go higher. However, I have already exited and taken some profits here. So if you want a clear path to hit 7 figures this bull run and take the exact same trades and buy the exact same tokens that I'm going to be buying this bull run, then you need to join my 7-figure inner circle. As you can see here, Casper has already spent 3 months within the group and he bought a brand new BMW. And Novello here had spent 10 months in the group. When she first joined, she didn't even know what a candlestick was. So over 10 months later, she has achieved over 6 figures in profits. And she was able to buy a brand new Rolex for Christmas. And Mrs. Chips here was able to hit her dream of hitting a 7-figure goal. And Kaizen here was able to take $1,000 into $100,000 in 3 to 4 months. And then he stayed in the group and then he made over 7 figures. So if you would like to work with me and I will give you a clear path on how you can hit 7 figures this bull run, then you can apply in the description below, because this bull run's not going to last forever and I'm going to continue to print more millionaires as it continues. So if you want to work with me and apply to work with me one-on-one, then check the description below now. But that's all for this video and I'll see you all in the next one.